Something strange is happening in Cleveland. Shadur Sanders arrived with high hopes, Joe Flacco continues to defy the clock, and even Kenny Pickett has joined the fray. But behind the smiles at training, signs of tension and uncertainty are emerging in the air. There were heavy statements, rumors spreading, and a player's attitude that didn't go down well at all. And the most curious thing? All of this could change who will hold the most coveted position on the roster. Leave a like now, because this soap opera is just beginning. Alright, let's pump the brakes on the Shadur Sanders hype train, at least for a second. The kid's been making waves since his Colorado days, and now that he's landed with the Cleveland Browns, the buzz hasn't exactly died down. But not all the chatter is about highlight reels and heroics. Cleveland.com's Terry Pluto threw a bit of cold water on the situation, and honestly, he's just keeping it real. While everyone's been gushing over Shadur's laser focus and his no-nonsense approach since showing up in Cleveland, Pluto reminds us that attitude alone doesn't punch your ticket to franchise QB status, especially when you're a fifth-round pick. And that's where the reality check kicks in. According to Pluto, the NFL isn't viewing Shadur as some can't-miss prospect. In fact, he flat-out says, he's no longer special, not in the eyes of the NFL. Yikes. That's not a knock on the guy's character or effort. It's just the league playing the odds. Only about 7% of starting QBs come out of the fifth round, so yeah, it's an uphill climb. Now to be fair, Shadur has been doing all the right things. The Browns like his work ethic, he's reportedly vibing with Joe Flacco, and he's looked decent in front of cameras during spring workouts. But, as Pluto points out, these are glorified walkthroughs. If OTAs translated to Sundays, Flacco would already have a gold jacket in Canton. So what does all this mean? It means Shadur's got potential. No one's denying that. The dude threw 37 touchdowns and led the country in completion percentage last year at Colorado, hitting 74% of his passes. That's no joke. But the NFL is a completely different beast. College stats and a solid offseason won't mean much unless he starts showing up when the lights are brightest. Do you think Shadur will silence the critics? Comment below. But be prepared. What comes next involves surprise, leadership, and a turnaround that no one expected. Alright, so let's talk Browns quarterbacks. Because this four-man QB circus in Cleveland is turning into one of the more underrated storylines heading into training camp. After mandatory minicamp wrapped up earlier this month, most signs were pointing to Joe Flacco as the early leader in the race for QB1. Yep, that Joe Flacco. The 40-year-old who looked like he was about to hang it up last year, only to get called in off the couch and somehow win 4 out of 5 games to push the Browns into the playoffs. The dude walked in mid-season, learned the offense on the fly, and immediately gained the locker room's respect. And according to Zach Jackson from The Athletic, Flacco is still slinging it like a seasoned vet. Jackson flat-out called him the best pure thrower of the group, which includes Kenny Pickett, rookie Dillon Gabriel, and fifth-rounder Shadur Sanders. Even with Father Time chasing him down, Flacco's arm talent hasn't gone anywhere. But it's more than that. His leadership, poise, and ability to steady the ship are what really make him the clubhouse favorite. Now here's where things get spicy. NFL Media's Daniel Jeremiah recently stirred the pot on the Rich Eisen show, suggesting that either Gabriel or Sanders could take the starting job by the end of August. Bold take. But Jackson, he's not buying it. He basically said that might end up sounding ridiculous in a couple months. And honestly, it's hard to disagree. Flacco's got the offense down cold, and none of the other QBs, Pickett included, have taken a single in-game snap under Kevin Stefanski. Speaking of Pickett, Jackson called his minicamp performance unremarkable. That's not exactly the word you want to hear if you're trying to win a QB battle. Meanwhile, Sanders hasn't exactly helped his case lately, getting hit with not 1 but 2 speeding citations in June and no showing his arraignment for one of them. Not a great look when you're trying to climb the depth chart. So, where does this leave us heading into training camp? Unless something dramatic changes, it's looking more and more like Flacco is the guy. Stefanski and the coaching staff seem to be leaning toward either him or Pickett for that Week 1 showdown against the Bengals. But if you're hoping for a rookie underdog story in Cleveland this year, it might have to wait a little longer. The scenario is confusing, but one thing is clear. Promises and resume are not enough. Only those who show more than talk will play. If you like hot behind the scenes like this, subscribe to the channel and stay up to date with the next chapters of the Browns.